Hey travelers, welcome back to the channel. Feels so good to be here with you again, and oh boy, we have some exciting things to talk about today. I know you've been waiting for updates, and I've got a double feature that's buzzing across the Genshin community. We're talking about two potential game changers, Nefer in version 6.1 and Durin in version 6.2. But before we start, you know the drill. These are leaks and community theories. Nothing here is officially confirmed by HoYoverse. So, take it with a puff of dandelion seeds floating gently through the air. Light, fun, and maybe just a little unpredictable. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Let's start with Nefer. She's rumored to be a 5-star Dendro Catalyst user. And if the whispers are true, she might completely reinvent how we think about Dendro reactions. Her unique mechanic is called Lunar Bloom. Now here's the twist. Instead of creating Dendro cores that you leave on the field to explode into hyperbloom or burgeon, Nefer actually consumes those cores herself. Every time she does, she builds up stacks. And when she charges up an attack, those stacks transform into a powerful Lunar Bloom strike. So imagine this. You're used to Bloom teams where cores are scattered on the ground, waiting to pop. But with Nefer, it's like she gathers all that energy into herself and then boom, she unleashes it in one controlled blast. That's a huge shift. The community is split. On one side, people love it. It makes Nefer a clean, self-contained DPS. You don't have to worry about cores going off at the wrong time, or damage being spread out too randomly. Instead, you control when that energy releases. For players who like precision, this is pretty exciting. But there's the other side. And they raise some fair points. By consuming the cores, Nefer removes those powerful hyperbloom and burgeon explosions that so many teams rely on. If you've built teams around triggering those reactions, her kit could feel like it's taking that away. And that raises questions about how flexible she'll actually be. And then there's synergy. On paper, Nefer pairs really well with Llama, another Dendro powerhouse. The issue: they both depend on consuming cores. If you try to run them together, they could be competing for the same resources, and that might lead to awkward rotations. It's the kind of friction that makes theory crafters nervous. Still, if you love building up power and then unleashing it all at once, Nefer might be exactly the kind of flashy DPS you've been waiting for. Just picture her stacking energy, then unleashing a giant Lunar Bloom attack that melts through enemies. That's a playstyle that's going to feel really satisfying to pull off. Now let's move to Durin, rumored for version 6.2. And yes, people are already calling him the Big Xiangling. I know that's a pretty dramatic title, but it tells you a lot about what the community is expecting. Durin is supposedly going to bring premium off-field Pyro application. Think about what Xiangling's Pyronado has done for years. It's been a staple in so many teams, especially Vaporize and Melt comps. Now imagine that same utility, but dialed up to 5-star stats and 5-star scaling. That's the potential people see in Durin. And the speculation doesn't stop there. Rumors say Durin is going to synergize heavily with Columbina. If that turns out to be true, we could be looking at one of the strongest duos in the new Dendro Cryo meta. Pyro's flexibility has always made it powerful, and pairing it with reliable off-field application. That's a recipe for a long-lasting meta staple. But, and there's always a but, the community isn't blindly buying the hype. Some are cautious. We've seen this Big X meme before, and it doesn't always hold up. Just because a character gets labeled as the 5-star version of someone beloved doesn't guarantee they'll dominate. Comparisons are already being made to Mavica, and people are warning not to get swept away by the hype until we see his actual numbers. That said, if Durin really does offer strong multipliers, reliable pyro uptime, and maybe even some team utility like buffs or healing, then he could easily become one of those characters you just never regret pulling. The kind you use for years, no matter how the meta shifts. So how should you spend your Primogems? Here's the way I see it. Nefer is a high-ceiling specialist. If you like characters with unique mechanics, if you already enjoy running Dendro-focused comps, or if you just want something flashy and new, Nefer could be a ton of fun. But she may feel niche, and if you love the classic Bloom reactions, she could feel like a step away from that. Durin, on the other hand, looks like a safer long-term investment. Off-field Pyro has never gone out of style, And if he really delivers on the leaks, he could slot into a huge variety of teams. Even if his numbers aren't insane, his role alone makes him valuable. So it comes down to this. Do you want a stylish new specialist with unique mechanics like Nefer? Or a reliable universal backbone for your teams like Durin? That's the leaks and speculation we have so far. I'll be keeping a close eye out for updates, and you can bet I'll cover them as soon as more information drops. But I want to hear from you. Are you more hyped for Nefer's Lunar Bloom mechanics, or for Duran stepping in as the Pyro powerhouse? Let me know in the comments. I love seeing where the community's excitement is leaning. And of course, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next update. Until then, travelers, may your pulls be lucky, your builds be strong, and may those dandelion seeds bring you nothing but good fortune.